6 months had passed since the great confrontation at the Council Station. The galaxy was a different place now, and Admiral Jake Morrison stood in his new office overlooking the rebuilt council chambers. He was no longer just Admiral Morrison. Now he was Earth's first galactic ambassador, representing humanity in a council that had been completely changed. The old crystal chamber had been replaced with a round room where all species sat at the same level. No more high seats looking down at others. No more one race controlling everyone else. President Maria Rodriguez was visiting from Earth for the first time. She stood next to Jake, looking out at the busy space station where aliens and humans worked together. "It is hard to believe how much has changed," she said quietly. Jake nodded. 6 months ago, they wanted to wipe us out. Now we are building research stations together. Dr. Lisa Carter walked into the office, carrying a stack of reports. She had been promoted to head of interspecies relations, and she was busier than ever. "The new research facility is almost ready," she reported. 12 different species have agreed to work with us on dark matter technology. Jake smiled. "Any problems?" Lisa shook her head. "A few species are still scared of the technology, but most are excited to learn. Dr. Walsh says we should have the first joint-built ships ready in a year." President Rodriguez picked up one of the reports. "What about the old council members? Are they cooperating?" "Most of them are," Lisa said. "Even HFY has stopped making threats, though he still does not like us much." Jake was not surprised. The lizard creature had lost a lot of power when the council was reformed. He was still a member, but now he was just one voice among many instead of the leader. Elder Thanwi had been the one to suggest the changes. The ancient alien had lived for thousands of years and had seen the galaxy stagnate under the old system. He welcomed the changes that humanity brought. "The young bring new ideas," Thanwi had said. "Even when those ideas are frightening, they are necessary for growth." Dr. Carter looked at her watch. "Speaking of Elder Thanwi, the council meeting starts in an hour. Are you ready for the presentation?" Jake nodded, but he looked serious. As ready as anyone can be for news like this. President Rodriguez noticed his expression. "What is wrong?" Jake walked over to his desk and picked up a classified report. "We have detected something approaching the galaxy, something big." The president took the report and read it quickly. Her face went pale. "How big?" "Big enough to consume entire star systems," Jake said quietly. "Our deep space monitors picked up the first signs 3 weeks ago. It is still years away, but it is definitely heading toward us." Lisa looked worried. "What is it?" Jake activated a holographic display that showed the edge of the galaxy. Far beyond the spiral arms, a dark cloud was moving slowly toward them. Inside the cloud, entire stars were disappearing. "We call it the swarm," Jake explained. "It appears to be some kind of living entity that feeds on stellar energy. Every star it touches goes dark." President Rodriguez studied the display. "How much time do we have?" "Our scientists estimate 5 to 7 years before it reaches the outer rim," Jake said. "Maybe 10 years before it threatens the core worlds." The 3 humans stood in silence, thinking about what this meant. The galaxy had just learned to work together, and now they faced a threat that could destroy everything. "Does the council know?" the president asked. Jake nodded. "I am going to tell them today. This is why we need the new alliance to work. No single species can fight something like this alone." An hour later, Jake stood before the reformed council. The chamber was full of representatives from dozens of species. Humans sat alongside aliens who had been enemies just months before. "Council members," Jake began, "we face a threat that makes our old conflicts seem very small." He activated the holographic display, showing the approaching swarm. Sounds of fear and confusion filled the chamber as the aliens saw what was coming toward their galaxy. HFY was the first to speak. Despite their past conflicts, his voice was serious and worried. How do we fight something like that? Jake looked around the chamber. We fight it together. Human dark matter technology, combined with the knowledge and resources of all our species. We build a defense fleet unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. The tree-like alien rustled its leaves nervously. Can such a fleet be built in time? Doctor. Emma Walsh's hologram appeared in the center of the chamber. She had been working on new ship designs for months, preparing for this moment. We have already begun, Emma announced. The new research facility has produced plans for ships that use both human and alien technology. They will be faster, stronger, and more versatile than anything we have built before. Elder Thanwi spoke in his ancient voice. How many ships will we need? Emma's expression was serious. Thousands, maybe tens of thousands. Every species will need to contribute ships, crews, and resources. A species that looked like living crystals asked, "What if we fail? What if the swarm cannot be stopped?" Jake stepped forward. Then we make sure that some part of our civilizations survive. We prepare escape ships. We find new places to live beyond the swarm's reach. But we do not give up without a fight. Commander Ryan Price appeared on a communication screen from his position in deep space. Admiral, the Phantom Fleet is already moving to intercept and study the swarm. We will learn everything we can about its capabilities. Captain Nina Brooks appeared on another screen. Our scouts report that the swarm shows signs of intelligence. It is not just a mindless force of nature. It can be fought. The council members talked among themselves in dozens of different languages. Jake could see fear in their faces, but also determination. The threat was bringing out the best in all of them. Finally, Elder Thanwi called for quiet. I propose that we formally establish the Galactic Defense Alliance. All species working together to protect our galaxy. The vote was unanimous. Even HFY raised his clawed hand in agreement. As the council meeting ended, Jake felt both proud and worried. Humanity had gone from being threatened with extinction to leading a galaxy-wide alliance in just 6 months. President Rodriguez joined him. The news hit the council chamber like a bomb. 50 warships, the pride of the Zentari fleet, had been defeated without firing a single shot. Admiral Cole Sanders and his entire force were prisoners of the humans. Counselor HFY's yellow eyes burned with rage as he read the report. Around him, the other council members whispered in fear and confusion. No one could understand how humans had defeated such a powerful fleet. Admiral Jake Morrison still stood in the center of the chamber, but now he was smiling. Dr. Lisa Carter stood beside him, no longer looking worried. Captain Ben Hughes watched the alien council members with the calm eyes of a soldier who knew he was winning. Impossible! HFY roared, his voice echoing off the crystal walls. Your species has no advanced warships. Our intelligence is perfect. Jake's smile grew wider. Your intelligence is 3 years out of date. We have been very busy since you started watching us. One of the council members, a floating creature of gas and energy, drifted closer to Jake. What have you done to our fleet? Before Jake could answer, the air in the center of the chamber began to shimmer. A hologram appeared, showing a human man in a white coat. This was Dr. Kevin Gray, one of Earth's top scientists. Honored council members, Kevin said politely, allow me to explain what happened to your fleet. The aliens stared at the hologram in shock. They had blocked all human communications, yet somehow this message was getting through. Kevin continued, speaking as if he was giving a lecture to students. 3 years ago, we discovered technology that allows us to manipulate dark matter. Dark matter makes up most of the universe, but you cannot see it or touch it normally. An alien that looked like a walking tree, made a sound like wind through leaves. Dark matter cannot be controlled. It is impossible. Kevin smiled. We thought so too, until we found a ship belonging to a race that came before you. They taught us how to make dark matter solid when we want it to be, or how to make it pass through normal matter like a ghost. The floating gas creature spun, faster, showing its agitation. You are lying. No race has ever mastered dark matter. Your Admiral Sanders can confirm what I am saying, Kevin replied. He watched our ships appear from nothing. He saw his weapons pass right through our hulls. He experienced what happens when humans fight with technology you do not understand. HFY slammed his tail against the floor, making a sound like thunder. Even if this is true, you have only 12 ships. The Council commands thousands of vessels across the galaxy. Jake stepped forward, his face serious now. Counselor HFY, how many ships do you think we need? Before the lizard creature could answer, something incredible happened. The space around the Council station began to change. Stars seemed to bend and twist as massive shapes moved through the darkness. Dr. Carter touched her communication device. Sarah, you can decloak now. Outside the station, space itself seemed to tear open. A ship larger than anything the Council had ever seen slowly became visible. It was black as space, shaped like a dagger, and it dwarfed the Council station. Commander Sarah Bell's voice came through the communication system. Admiral Morrison, this is the Void Walker. We are in position. Inside the Council chamber, several alien Council members made sounds of fear. The ship had appeared from nothing, just like the reports from Admiral Sanders had described. But that was not the end of the surprise. All around the Council station, more ships began to appear. Not 12 ships, but dozens. Each one was dark and menacing. Each one had been hiding in the space around the station for hours. Jake looked up at the terrified Council members. You asked how many ships we have. The answer is, enough. HFY's voice was shaking now. How long have you been here? We arrived 6 hours before you called this meeting, Jake said calmly. We have been listening to everything you said. We recorded your threats against our colonies. We watched you plan our destruction. The tree-like alien spoke in a voice like rustling leaves. You could have destroyed this station at any time. Jake nodded. Yes, we could have. We could have killed every one of you before you even knew we were here. But we did not come here to be murderers. We came here to talk. The floating gas creature was spinning wildly now. What do you want from us? Dr. Carter activated her device again. A new hologram appeared, showing President Maria Rodriguez sitting at her desk on Earth. Council members, the President said, her voice strong and clear. We want what we have. Always wanted. To be left alone to live our lives in peace. To explore the galaxy and learn about the universe. To be treated as equals, not as threats to be eliminated. HFY found his voice again, but it was weaker now. Your species is dangerous. You expand too quickly. You are too aggressive. President Rodriguez leaned forward in her chair. We expand because we thought we were alone in the galaxy. We build defenses because no one ever offered to be our friend. We appear aggressive because you have been planning to attack us for years. Jake pulled out a datapad and held it up. We know about your surveillance ships. We know about your military buildup near our borders. We know about your plans to limit our population and control our technology. Did you think we would not notice? The Council chamber fell silent. The aliens realized that humans had been watching them just as carefully as they had been watching humans. Elder Thanway, the oldest member of the Council, spoke for the first time. His voice was ancient and tired. What are your terms, humans? Jake looked around at all the alien faces staring down at him. Some looked angry, some looked afraid, but most looked defeated. First, all threats against human colonies will end. Immediately. Second, Earth will be given a permanent seat on this council with full voting rights. Third, human territorial claims will be recognized as legitimate. HFY started to object, but Elder Thanwi raised a hand to silence him. And in return? The ancient alien asked. Jake's expression softened slightly. In return, we will share our knowledge. We will help defend the galaxy against outside threats. We will work with you to build a better future for all species. The tree-like alien rustled its leaves thoughtfully. You could simply take what you want by force. Your ships surround us. We are helpless. Yes, Jake agreed. But that would make us the monsters you think we are. We prefer to earn respect rather than demand it through fear. Commander Bell's voice came through the communication system again. Admiral, our sensors are detecting movement from several council fleets. They are moving toward our positions. Jake looked up at HFY. Are you ordering an attack on us? The lizard creature's yellow eyes were full of hate, but also fear. No, I am ordering them to stand down. Jake nodded. Good choice. Violence will only lead to more violence. We have seen enough war. President Rodriguez spoke from her hologram. The choice is yours, council members. We can be enemies who destroy each other, or we can be allies who build something better together. The council members looked at each other, then at the humans, standing calmly in the center of their chamber. Outside, dozens of phantom ships waited silently in the darkness. Elder Thanwi spoke slowly. We will consider your terms. Jake smiled. You have 3 days to decide, the same amount of time you gave us. As the humans prepared to leave, HFY called out one last time. This is not over, humans. Jake stopped and looked back. No, counselor. This is just the beginning. Admiral Cole Sanders had fought in many battles across the galaxy. His ship, the Star Crusher, was the pride of the Zentari fleet. Today, he was leading 50 warships to remove the humans from Titan Colony. The orders were simple. Destroy all human settlements and capture any survivors for questioning. The Galactic Council wanted to send a message that would make other humans surrender without a fight. Admiral, we are approaching the target system, reported his navigation officer, a young Zentari with bright blue scales. Cole looked at his tactical display. Titan Colony was a small settlement built around a gas giant's moon. According to their intelligence, about 10,000 humans lived there, mostly miners and their families. Any signs of resistance? Cole asked. His sensor officer checked his screens. No, sir. The system appears empty. No ships, no defense platforms, nothing. They must have evacuated when they heard we were coming. Cole felt disappointed. He had hoped for at least a small fight. Humans had a reputation for being stubborn, but maybe they were smarter than the council thought. Begin scanning for hidden bases, Cole ordered. Humans are tricky. They might be hiding somewhere. For 2 hours, the fleet searched every asteroid and moon in the system. They found the colony's buildings, but they appeared to be empty. No heat signatures, no power readings, nothing. Should we land troops to search the buildings? Asked Captain Vex, Cole's second in command. Cole nodded. Yes, but keep the fleet ready. Something feels wrong about this. As the first transport ships headed toward Titan Colony, something impossible happened. The transport ships simply stopped moving. They were not damaged, not destroyed. They just hung in space like they had hit an invisible wall. What is happening? Cole demanded. His sensor officer was frantically checking his equipment. I don't understand, sir. The transports show no damage, but they are not responding to commands. From his position in space far above, Commander Ryan Price watched the alien fleet with cold eyes. His ship, Silent Thunder, was completely invisible to their sensors. Around him, 11 other phantom ships waited for his command. Lieutenant Hayes, are you ready? Ryan asked his communications officer. Tom Hayes nodded. All Phantom ships. Report ready, sir. We have been tracking this fleet for 3 days. Ryan had hoped the aliens would turn around when they found the colony empty. The humans had evacuated secretly 2 weeks ago, using small transport ships that could not be detected. But the aliens were determined to cause destruction. Maya, begin Phase 1, Ryan ordered. Lieutenant Maya Foster smiled as she worked the controls. Beginning selective targeting, sir. One by one, the alien warships began to experience problems. Engines shut down for no reason. Weapon systems failed. Communication arrays went dead. The aliens could not understand what was happening to their ships. Admiral Cole was getting angry and scared. This is impossible. Our ships are the most advanced in the galaxy. His engineering officer looked confused. Sir, it is like something is reaching inside our ships and turning things off, but our sensors show nothing. That was when Captain Nina Brooks made her move. Her ship, Dark Horizon, had been positioned directly below the alien flagship. She gave the order to partially phase into normal space. The first thing the aliens saw was a shadow. The stars below their ship seemed to go dark, as if something huge was passing in front of them. Then, slowly, a massive black ship began to appear. Sir, the sensor officer screamed. Ship appearing directly below us. It is huge. Cole looked at his screen and felt his heart stop. The ship was twice the size of his flagship, and it was black as space itself. It seemed to absorb light, making it hard to look at directly. Where did it come from? Cole whispered. Before anyone could answer, 11 more ships began to appear around the alien fleet. They materialized out of nothing, like ghosts becoming solid. Each one was dark and menacing, and they completely surrounded the alien warships. Ryan opened a communication channel to the alien fleet. His voice was calm and cold. Alien vessels, you are surrounded. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Admiral Cole found his voice. What are you? How did you appear from nowhere? We are the species you came here to destroy, Ryan replied. And we have been watching you for a very long time. Cole looked at his tactical display. The human ships had appeared in perfect positions. Every alien vessel was covered by at least 2 human ships. It was a trap that had been planned perfectly. This is impossible, Cole said. Our intelligence showed that humans had no advanced warships. Maya Foster's voice came over the communication channel. She was commanding Dark Horizon, and she sounded amused. Your intelligence was wrong. We have been out here for months, watching your fleets, learning your patterns. One of Cole's captains tried to fire his weapons at the nearest human ship. The energy beams passed right through it, as if the ship was not really there. Then, human ship became solid again, and a strange pulse of energy disabled the captain's ship completely. How are you doing this? Cole demanded. We learned from teachers who are much more advanced than you, Ryan said. Now you have a choice. Surrender, and your crews will be treated well. Continue to fight, and we will show you what human ships can really do. Cole was a proud warrior, but he was not stupid. His fleet was helpless against these phantom ships that could appear and disappear at will. All ships, stand down, he ordered reluctantly. Within minutes, teams of humans began boarding the alien ships. They appeared right through the hulls, walking through solid metal like it was air. The alien crews had never seen anything like it. Lieutenant Tom Hayes led one of the boarding parties onto Cole's flagship. He appeared in the middle of the bridge, causing several alien officers to jump back in fear. Admiral Sanders, Tom said politely, you are our prisoner. Please order your crews to cooperate, and no one will be harmed. Cole looked around at his bridge crew. They were all staring at the humans who had just walked through solid walls. Some of the younger officers looked terrified. "How long have you been watching us?" Cole asked. Tom smiled. "Long enough to know that your fleet was coming here 3 days before you left your home base. Long enough to evacuate every human from this system. Long enough to prepare a proper welcome for you." As Cole was led away to the human ship, he realized that everything the Galactic Council thought they knew about humans was wrong. These creatures were not primitive or weak. They were predators who had been pretending to be prey. Back at the council chambers, the news of the fleet's defeat would arrive soon. The council members would finally understand that they had made a terrible mistake. Humanity was not the helpless species they thought they were hunting. Humanity was the hunter. And the council had just walked into their trap. 3 years earlier, deep in the cold darkness beyond Neptune, a mining ship found something that would change everything. Captain Sam Wilson was leading a team of miners looking for ice and rare metals in the Kuiper Belt. It was boring work, but someone had to do it. Earth needed the materials to build more ships and stations. "Captain, you need to see this," called out Pete Jackson, the team's scatter operator. His voice sounded strange, like he could not believe what he was seeing. Sam floated over to Pete's station. On the screen was an object unlike anything they had seen before. It was big, maybe the size of a city block, and it was perfectly smooth. No scratches, no damage, even though it had been floating in space for who knows how long. "What do you think it is?" Pete asked. Sam studied the image. The object was dark, but not black. It seemed to absorb light in a way that hurt to look at. "I don't know, but we need to tell Earth about this right away." Within a week, Dr. Emma Walsh arrived with a team of scientists. Emma was young but brilliant. She had studied physics and engineering at the best schools on Earth. When she saw the object, her eyes went wide. "This is not made by any known technology," she said, running her hands over the smooth surface. "The material is unlike anything in our periodic table." The team spent months studying the object. They found that it was hollow inside, filled with strange machines and computers. The technology was far beyond anything humans had ever built. Dr. Walsh worked day and night to understand how the alien machines worked. She discovered that they used something called dark matter as both fuel and building material. Dark matter was invisible and could not be touched by normal matter, but somehow these aliens had found a way to control it. "This is incredible," Emma told General Alex Turner during a video call to Earth. "They can make dark matter solid when they want to, or make it pass through anything. It's like they can choose when their technology exists in our world." General Turner was an old soldier who had fought in the water wars 20 years ago. He was tough and smart, and he understood what Emma was really saying. "You mean they can make invisible ships?" he asked. "Not just invisible," Emma said. Her voice excited, untouchable. "A ship made of dark matter could fly right through a planet if it wanted to. Or it could become solid and hit like a mountain. The possibilities are endless." General Turner was quiet for a long moment. He was thinking about Earth's place in the galaxy. Humans had found signs of alien life, but so far, no aliens had contacted them. He wondered if that was because aliens did not want to be friends. "Can we build this technology ourselves?" he asked. Emma nodded. "I think so. The alien computers are still working. They seem to be teaching us, like they want us to learn. It will take time, but yes, we can do this." Back on Earth, General Turner talked to the President and the other leaders. They all agreed that this technology could protect humanity if other aliens turned out to be hostile. The project was given a secret name, Nightfall. Commander Ryan Price was chosen to lead the military side of the project. Ryan was one of Earth's best pilots, calm under pressure and smart enough to understand the new technology. This is different from anything we have ever built, Dr. Walsh explained to Ryan as they stood in the secret shipyard. Normal ships are made of metal and plastic. These ships are grown like plants, but from dark matter. The first test ship looked strange. It was smooth and black, with no obvious weapons or engines. Ryan could barely see it, even when he was standing next to it. How do I control something I can barely see? Ryan asked. Emma smiled. That's the beautiful part. The ship connects directly to your mind. You think about where you want to go, and it goes there. You think about becoming invisible, and it phases out of normal space. Ryan's first flight was terrifying and amazing. One moment he was sitting in a normal cockpit. The next moment he and his ship were floating between dimensions. He could see everything around him, but nothing could see him. This is incredible, he said over the radio. I can see 3 Earth patrol ships, but their scanners show nothing. I'm invisible to everything. Dr. Walsh's voice came through clearly. Now try becoming solid again. Ryan focused his thoughts, and suddenly his ship appeared on all the patrol ship's screens. The other pilots were shocked to see a ship appear out of nowhere. Where did you come from? One of them asked. Ryan smiled. I was always here. You just could not see me. Over the next 2 years, Earth built 12 dark matter ships in secret. Each one was bigger and more advanced than normal warships. They called them the Phantom Fleet. Lieutenant Maya Foster was Ryan's second in command. She was young but fearless, and she understood the new technology better than anyone except Dr. Walsh. The ships are ready, Maya reported to General Turner. All 12 captains have completed their training. We can phase between dimensions, become invisible, and strike without warning. General Turner looked at the reports on his desk. Earth spy satellites had detected alien ships watching human colonies from far away. The aliens thought they were hidden, but human technology had gotten better. Deploy the Phantom Fleet, General Turner ordered. I want 1 ship watching each major alien position. If they move against us, we need to be ready. The 12 ships left Earth in secret, each one taking a different route through space. They used their dark matter drives to travel faster than light, and their phasing ability to hide from any sensors. Captain Nina Brooks commanded the ship Dark Horizon. She positioned her ship near the alien base at Wolf 359, where strange ships had been gathering for months. They have no idea we are here, she reported to Ryan. I am close enough to touch their ships, but their scanners show empty space. Ryan was pleased. The Phantom Fleet was in position across the galaxy, invisible and waiting. If the aliens wanted a fight, they would get more than they bargained for. But Ryan hoped it would not come to that. Humans had learned to fight when they had to, but they preferred to live in peace. Unfortunately, peace was not what the galaxy had in mind for humanity. Admiral Jake Morrison stood in the center of the massive crystal chamber. The room was bigger than any building he had ever seen on Earth. Strange lights moved through the walls like trapped lightning. Around him sat 12 different alien races, each one looking down at him from their high seats. The air felt heavy and cold. Jake could hear his own heartbeat in the silence. Next to him stood Dr. Lisa Carter, a small woman with bright eyes who knew more about alien languages than anyone else on Earth. Behind them waited Captain Ben Hughes, Jake's old friend from the military. The leader of this council was a creature called HFY. It looked like a giant lizard that walked on 2 legs. Its eyes were yellow and mean. When it spoke, its voice sounded like rocks grinding together. Human Morrison, HFY said, the words echoing in the huge room. Your species has been judged. You expand too fast. You take what does not belong to you. You are dangerous to the peace of our galaxy. Jake kept his face calm, but inside he felt angry. These aliens had never even tried to talk to humans before today. They just watched from far away and made their judgments. "We came here to talk," Jake said clearly. "Humans want to be friends with other races. We want to learn and share what we know." A sound like laughter came from the other council members. It was not a friendly sound. One of them, a creature made of floating gas and light, spoke in a voice like wind through a cave. "Friends?" It said, "You humans fight each other on your own world. You poison your air and water. In just 50 years, you have spread to 6-star systems. You build weapons everywhere you go." Dr. Carter stepped forward. She had spent years learning how to talk to these aliens. "We build defenses because we are alone and afraid," she said. "No one has ever welcomed us or offered to help." "Shh!" Zephyr's long tail hit the floor with a loud bang. "Silence! We did not come here to listen to excuses. We have made our decision. Your species will stop all expansion beyond your current borders. You will give up your colonies in the outer rim. You will limit your population growth." Jake felt. His hands tightened into fists. "And if we refuse?" The lizard creature's mouth opened, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Then we will take corrective action. Your colonies will be removed. Your expansion will be stopped by force. This is not a request, human. This is an order." Captain Hughes moved closer to Jake. The soldier's eyes were scanning the room, looking for threats. He had fought in many battles on Earth, but this was different. They were alone, far from home, surrounded by creatures that could destroy their entire species. Lisa touched a small device on her belt. It was recording everything, but it was also doing something else. Jake knew she was trying to send a message back to Earth, but the aliens had blocked all their communications. Or so they thought. "You speak of peace," Jake said, his voice getting stronger, "but you threaten war. You speak of justice, but you judge us without ever talking to us before today. How is this fair?" An alien that looked like a walking tree made a sound like wind through leaves. "Fairness is a luxury for those who do not threaten the galaxy. Your species is too dangerous to be left alone." Jake looked around at all the different faces staring down at him. Some looked angry, some looked afraid, but none looked willing to listen. "How long do we have?" Jake asked. "Your colonies have 30 standard days to begin evacuation," SciFi said. "Any human settlements that remain. After that time will be destroyed." Lisa's device made a very quiet beeping sound. Only Jake heard it. The message had been sent. Somehow, she had found a way to get through their blocks. Back on Earth, people would know what was happening here. "And if we agree to your terms?" Jake asked. "What then?" The gas creature floated closer. "Your species will be watched. You will be limited. You will be controlled. This is the price of peace." Jake almost smiled, but he kept his face serious. These aliens thought they were so powerful, so advanced. They thought humans were just scared animals that would run away when threatened. They were wrong. "I need to discuss this with my government," Jake said. SciFi's yellow eyes narrowed. "There is nothing to discuss. You will accept our terms, or you will face the consequences." "Even animals get time to think when they are cornered," Jake said quietly. The room fell silent. Some of the aliens looked uncomfortable. They had never thought of humans as anything more than a problem to solve. Captain Hughes stepped forward. "Admiral, we should go back to our ship and send word to Earth." Jake nodded. "Yes, we should." He looked up at the council members. "You will have our answer in 3 days." As they walked toward the exit, Jake could hear the aliens talking among themselves in their different languages. Lisa was quietly listening, her device translating their words. When they reached the door, SciFi called out, "Do not think of running, humans. Our ships surround this station. There is nowhere you can go that we cannot follow." Jake stopped and turned around. For the first time since entering the chamber, he smiled. It was not a happy smile. "You should have asked what humans do when cornered," he said. Outside the council chamber, something strange was happening to the space around the station. The stars seemed to flicker, as if something was moving between them and the station. But the alien sensors detected nothing unusual. The darkness was coming, and the council had no idea what was about to happen to their perfect, ordered galaxy.